If you are curious about the Cut Buddy head shaver, this video is for you because I'm going to be going over in this video the Cut Buddy routine. I'm going to show you what I've learned to get the best, closest shave that I can get out of this. Make sure you stay to the end because there's some tips that I'm going to go over with you guys and my thoughts on this head shaver. So with that being said, if you find good content here, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel for more tips, tutorials, and reviews like this one. I will say that this is a sponsored video from the Cut Buddy. They sent me a head shaver to check out to give him my honest thoughts, and I'm going to do exactly that. So I'm going to go over their Cut Buddy routine and kind of tell you what I think about it and show you how they do it. So stay to the end because I'm going to tell you at the end what I think about this head shaver, and if there's anything that I do not like about this, I'm going to share that with you in this video. So here's the thing to keep in mind. They do have a rinse tray. I got this with the package. Now it has water in there, just so you know. They did send me the post shave, which I already talk about that on this channel. I have used this before. And I'm also going to be going over the Bump Buddy, which another thing that I've talked about on this channel before. Also have the charger it came with, which is going to be a USB-C to a USB-A. Also have the charging bank here. Now, I will say that this is a USB-A if you're curious, which obviously why wouldn't it be if it's a USB-C to USB-A? That just makes sense. And let me say this, they also sent me an exfoliation brush that is an attachment, and this is what that looks like, okay? So with that being said, let's get right into it. I'm not gonna take too much time. I do have this shaving cream that they sent me, jojoba, tea tree, and eucalyptus as far as the main ingredients. It's going to be their foaming shave cream. I'm not a big fan of shaving cream or foam, but we're gonna see how it works, because the main reason why I don't like shaving cream is because it gets all bogged up in the head shavers and foamy, but we're going to see how this works. So with that being said, I'm gonna put a little bit on my head here, just like this, all right? And I'm not gonna just leave it like this because obviously it would be really, really thick. I'm gonna dab my hand just a little bit into the water to kind of make it where it's less of a thick viscosity and more of a thinner viscosity here, where it's just a lot less chance of it getting clogged up or bogged up in the head of this head shaver or the cartridge. So here we go. Now that I'm getting it a little bit thinner here on top, put a little bit more. I will say this, and I say this a lot, you always want to start a head shave when you have at least 1/4 of an inch or less of hair. Do not shave your head with any of these shavers that we ever talk about on this channel, including the Cut Buddy, with hair longer than 1/4 inch, because if you do, it's not going to feel that well. I promise you. It's going to snag, pull. All right, so now that I have all that on here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the head off of this, and I'm going to show you how to do it. My hands are a little dirty, just so you know. I'm going to kind of pull it just like that, and it'll pull right off just like that. And I'm going to put this on here, and you might be wondering, what in the world are you doing right now? Well, I'm going to use this exfoliation tool on my head. Now that I have the shaving gel or cream on, I'm just going to simply kind of really just exfoliate it into my pores, all right, or my glands, if you will, just to kind of get it to be nice and exfoliated. I always talk about exfoliating your head. You want to make sure it's nice and cleaned before you even shave your head, because who knows how much particles, dirt is trapped into that dead skin on the very top of your head, all right? Make sure you get all the way around. You can always add a little bit more water onto this. What it's doing is getting it deep down into the pores before we even get started shaving. You can find all of these at the Cut Buddy online as well. All right, so now that I have that done, you can see It's gotten a lot of dirt on that thing from my head, and you don't even see the dirt on my head, but it is there, just so you know. So I'm going to have to clean this out in just a little bit, because that's really kind of disturbing when you think about how much dirt is really on these things that you don't see. Let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to put a little bit more water on my head to get it really where it is kind of smooth going here. All right, and we'll get started. Always want to go in circular motions like this. And one of the problems that I have with a lot of head shavers is right in here, that coarseness of hair. I always got to go over it with several passes. So I'm going to see how well this one actually works. And it looks like it's doing a very, very good job with getting that thicker hair above my ears knocked down. Sure does feel good when you get to shave your head. You wait a couple of days to shave it sometimes. When you get that head shave, it sure feels so much better. You're looking into shaving your head, now is a perfect time to do it. If you're curious if you should shave your head or not, if you have the very thought of should you shave your head or not, that's probably a pretty good indicator that it's probably about time to go ahead and shave it. You can see how clear that shave is. Look at that, guys. I'm almost getting like a glare off of it because it's getting so close to the shave here. I always say that it's very important to wet shave if you don't want those irritations. I'm telling you right now, if I wet shave, usually my head comes out a lot better than dry shaving. Now, I understand why people dry shave, but for the most part, if you want to cut down on the irritations, you always want to wet shave and using products that will actually help. Doesn't take me very long to shave my head, really. But I always go over it with my fingers and hands to kind of determine if I have any spots that I've missed, because it is easy sometimes to go too fast and miss a couple of spots. But I've been shaving my head for a long time. I know what I'm doing. I've tried several head shavers and done several tutorials, so I'm not your average amateur when it comes to shaving my head. All right, now what they tell you is about halfway through to stick it in the rinse tray as it's still running like this. And I am seeing it get bubbled up with hairs, so it's working. It is cleaning. All right, you just sit it in it for just a few moments like that. You don't have to open the door. And then once you have that sitting in there for a few seconds, you can pull it back out and continue. All right, guys, so I just finished shaving my head. It took literally about 5 minutes or below to do this, and that was with me talking. Normally I would get it done a lot faster. The battery life right now is at 88. If you can see here, I do like the digital display. I do love how it has a USB-C charging port there. It does have a little plastic deal, rubber deal over it too, which makes it really nice to cover it from water damage and stuff, which I don't think that you're gonna have too much water damage on that. I'm sure this thing is IPX6 or 7 rated. It is water resistant, at the very least waterproof. It has a nice ergonomical feel to the handle. You can hold it like this. You can even hold it like this, which is really nice, but does a fantastic job. For the most part, the battery life is going to be very well when you get one of these, for sure. I will say also that it does have a 9,000 RPM motor in it. So 9,000, this is the updated one. A lot of head shavers out there in the market will have 5,000, 6,000, some will have 7,000 and 8,500, but 9,000, from what I have seen today on this head shave, just a great company. They get behind veterans and service members with a lifetime warranty. I love that. I love the idea that once you purchase a head shaver like this from the Cut Buddy, you get 30 days money back guarantee, no questions asked. You have a 1-year warranty if anything goes bad with it. And again, going back to the veterans and the first responders, service members, they get a lifetime warranty, which is awesome. So let's go over the different products that they gave me today, like post-shock treatment right here that I'm going to spray on my head in just a second, and also the moisturizer, which is called the Bump Buddy. All right, so let's talk about those. So this spray that I'm going to use, this is called the post-shave treatment. Now keep in mind that this is not like a metal aluminum aerosol can. This is plastic. It's going to have a plastic atomizer on top. So a lot of people like to put this in the refrigerator. Just kind of gives more of a cooling sensation when it sprays on your head. But I just spray it on my head just like this. All right, and I just let it evaporate into my skin. And it doesn't take very long to do that. In fact, on the very back is where you get like almost like a tingling sensation, where most of the time is where I get most of the irritation when I shave. So there's a lot of guys that when they do shave their heads, they're gonna have most of the irritation back here in the lower part of their neck. And that's gonna be the general place where most people will have irritation toward the bottom of their neck on the back side. So as you can see, it is starting to evaporate. It does evaporate very fast. And once this evaporates, I am going to use the Bump Buddy, and I'm going to tell you what I think about the Bump Buddy, all right? And this is the Bump Buddy. Comes in a 50 mil. The 50 mil, I think that's 1.7 fluid ounces, if I'm correct. Basically, this is what it's going to look like when you open it. It's going to have a little plastic cap here, and it's going to be like a creamy consistency to it, and it doesn't take very much. I'm just actually taking it off the cap here myself, but you'll see here kind of what it looks like. All right, so I will say this stuff smells fantastic, amazing. So you don't need a whole lot. I probably got a little bit too much because I got some of it off of the cap, but I'll just put it on my head like this, back of my neck, where it gets irritated the most. I've had compliments from my daughters about how good this smells when I have put it on my head in the past. In fact, my wife, she is very prone to having irritation when she shaves her legs, and I've actually let her use some of this on her legs. All right, guys, listen, all you guys out there that have women that have this issue. This Bump Buddy works for your legs too. Any place that gets irritation, it works for it. So not just your head, but all over all these other places that are prone to irritations, it works fantastic. So that is going to be how I do the Bump Buddy routine. The only thing I will say about this head shaver is I wish that the heads were bigger, you know, had more real estate than the smaller ones like this. And I kind of wish that the doors didn't open to clean, but if I'd never had to open these to clean them, which I'm just going to start not opening these and just letting it clean as I put the head shaver in the water and just turn the power button on. I'm gonna let it clean itself. And I'm gonna go at this one for a while and see how this works. But for the most part, it feels comfortable. I've always said these feel comfortable. These feel great on the head. They work fantastic. Obviously, you can see my head, how great of a shave I have on this. A lot of guys want that shiny look. I understand there's a lot of guys that don't. So you're kind of like split 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't, but there is a nice shine off of my head. Definitely helps with reducing ingrown hairs as well when it comes to these products like this. So great stuff from the Cut Buddy. So with that being said, let me know if you have any questions, if you've ever tried the Cut Buddy, in the comments below. I would love to help you with all the questions that you have and give you my best honest answer. Is this a buy or a pass? Definitely a buy. The new updated ones that they have, 9,000 RPMs in this head shaver, works really well. So with that being said, guys, definitely check it out. I highly appreciate you. Always remember, look sharp and lead strong, and I'll see you next time.